What I have learned in this class, I've learned a whole lot in this media asset and creation class. To tell you the truth, when I thought about what I was going to do for my final project, I had no idea where to start. So I decided that I will start from the beginning, the very beginning. I would have to say that I started learning immediately in this class. I had never created a blog before, so this whole step was a learning process. But the directions were mapped out so nicely and clearly for me that it was easy for me to do, especially using iWeb. Getting a chance to share our blog was also very beneficial because it allowed us to get a chance to see what other people were saying and also to get ideas from them as well. Our WIMBA sessions were also very important to me because I got a chance to really get a better feel for exactly what was expected out of us in the course and also feel like I was in a real classroom, being able to see the instructor and any other students who wanted to be seen. In week one, I learned how not to do PowerPoints.
Hello?
I loved the
Welcome
little YouTube
to
video
PowerPoint
that
Anonymous.
Dr. Bustillo
I'm
showed
Dr.
us
Bernard,
on the
counselor,
therapist,
facilitator, and remember,
and
there'll be
it was
notes.
very
Let me
comical,
put up
and
this
it
slide
let
first.
me see how
Go right ahead.
videos don't have to
Hi,
always
I'm
be
Peter.
serious. You can
I
also
am
send a message
a powerful
and
abuser.
be comical about it.
Nice.
Convergence Culture was a great book. Henry Jenkins did a very great job at writing for all types of people. Just because you weren't a tech type of person, you got a
We're
chance
definitely at a
to
moment of
still
transition.
understand what
A
he's
moment
trying to
where an
say.
old media
He's
system
trying
is
to say
dying
that
and a new media system
media
is being
has
born.
been
An era when
changing for many
spectatorial
years,
culture is
and
giving way to participatory culture,
nowadays we use
where
the
a
current media with
society
the
based
old
on a small
media
number of companies
and we mesh
controlling
them
a
together to
storytelling
bring new
apparatus
stories,
is giving
new
way to a much
ideas,
more
new meanings
complex
to the
media.
world. In week two, we talked about the copyright law. The copyright law is very strict, and it basically means that the owner has the rights to their work. And there are five things that can be copywritten: books, plays, films, movies, dance, and music. In week two, we dug deeper into convergence culture. In convergence culture, Jenkins also talked about how in the 2004 presidential campaign, media was used more than ever. Media had a direct impact on how the election went. People got a chance to blog and talk about the views of the candidates and learn more about each individual candidate. In week three, we talked about the fair use law. The fair use law allows people to use copywritten work but with limitations. There are limits to how many copies you can make or how many distributions you can give out. It is a good idea to get the author's permission in many cases just to be safe. We discussed The Art of Possibility by Benjamin Zander. This book was very inspirational to me, and a lot of things that I read I plan on putting into practice. One thing I plan on putting into practice is looking at life through this window of opportunity. Look for things to be invented. Try not to get upset over little things. And if I do run into a problem, think about how I want to fix it and continue in that path. Another thing that I learned this week was how to use Stickam. Our group got together and it was very difficult for us to get it working at first, but eventually through teamwork we got it together and we had fun talking to each other and looking at each other all at the same time. This is definitely a tool that I'll be able to use in my classroom. In week four, I learned about Creative Commons. Creative Commons is a great website that allows people to share media works and tell people how they want their work to be shared. There are four main signs that you have to look at. The first sign is the attribution, which means that you can copy the work, but you also have to give credit. Some signs show that you cannot use the work for commercial uses. Also, you can choose to have your work not be altered in any kind of way. And lastly, you can choose for your work to be shared a certain way. Now where I'm at the very end and I have showed you what I've learned. I've learned many more things that I didn't get a chance to explain, but I would be going on forever. Dr. Bustillos, I did learn another thing that I did want to share with you, and that's how to be a really good teacher. You showed us how to exactly lay out what it is that you expect from your students, and I also learned how to open my windows of possibilities, and if I want students to do a certain thing, that a good example would be very helpful. Thank you very much.